Are you worried about those overhyped players, those high-owned players like Mo Salah that are in heaps of people's teams and you think that you're just being cohorned into being with them? Well, I'm here to break down the 18 most owned / overhyped players in the game and which ones I'm ignoring in my own drafts and potentially you could be ignoring as well. Without further ado, smash a like on the video, subscribe, you know you want to if you haven't already done so, and leave me a comment with which players you are taking on out of the 18 that I provided today. And with that being said, let's go. Mo Salah, Florian Wirtz, Liverpool players that I think are the 18th and 17th on the list of 18 players that you can take on and ignore at least for the first 3 game weeks. 58% ownership for Mo Salah, 32.5% for Florian Wirtz. These two players, in my personal opinion, are still learning how to play with each other. I think now as well, with the options that Liverpool have got with them, I think that there is a strong chance that we're going to see more slot roulette. Remember, Mo Salah is 33 years old this year, and I think that this is the year where he goes down the pecking order. I can just see it this season. This is the one he drops off. He's obviously going to miss at least probably 4 or 5 game weeks already with AFCON, so the points he scored last year are not going to be replicated again this year. That is 100% sure. And I just think that with all the change around you, without Trent there providing him with all the stuff that he used to provide, I think it's just, even Slot have said that Frimpong is going to be playing right wing maybe just as much as right back. Read into that what you want. That tells me that Mo Salah this year may be about to being starting to be managed with his minutes. Just calling it. I could be completely wrong, but he's someone that I can guarantee you 100% is not going to be in my own FPL team. Wirtz, his stats last year are really good. He did only have 25 starts on the Bundesliga. Maybe that's because he's still quite a young player. 10 goals, 12 assists, and his numbers, XG-wise and XA-wise per 90, are through the roof. As I said, I think they could be good picks over the course of the season. I'll probably own them over the course of the season, but the first 3 game weeks have massively put me off. I want to see how that Liverpool team click before I sit there and part with my hard-earned cash to bring them into my teams. I just think there's better options to start the season, so that's why I haven't gone with these 2. And I'm a Man United fan. And look, I hate to say it, but I wouldn't be going anywhere near Brian and Mbumo and Matheus Cunha either. Both priced at 8 million, and if they were still at Wolves, still at Brentford, I would have them in my team, 100%. But 16.7% ownership for Mbumo, 10.3% for Cunha. I mean, they racked up 35 goals and 16 assists between them last season. Like, fantastic assets last season. But they're now in a Man United team where Bruno Fernandes takes all the penalties, where potentially, I don't know. I just think that there's going to take a little adjustment period to click. I think Man United are going to start the season really well, to be honest with you, and they might prove me wrong. I just think that to begin the season, I think there's better value for money than picking these 2. If I was to pick 2 Man United players, I'd pick Bruno Fernandes and I'd pick Ahmad. I think Ahmad's going to be incredible. We're going to talk about him in another video later this week. Then we've got Beto. This is the first of an Everton player to make this list. And I'm telling you, picking an Everton player that's either in the midfield or the attacking line is a surefire way to find yourself not being considered for the FPL D-Unit's team. They're rubbish. Attacking-wise, their numbers last season were rubbish. David Moyes, I think, is going to try and change it. He's already said negative things about Beto this preseason that basically makes you think that Beto's going to not be starting very much and Barry will be starting and assuming the number 1 role. Barry might even assume penalties, which will incur another player later on in this video. 15 starts last year for 8 goals. I mean, I was almost 1 every 2 starts, but the numbers just aren't there. The numbers aren't there for... I get the understanding that Everton's got a fairly nice run to start the season with, like fairly good fixtures. There's just better options. You're better off just ignoring Beto. That's my honest opinion. Then we've got Crystal Woody Woodpecker, and he is one of my favourites. One of my all-time favourites from last year. I owned him at the beginning. He had amazing fixtures, just like Nottingham Forest had pretty much amazing fixtures again this year. However, They have not been setting the fire alight in preseason in terms of their attacking numbers. They've barely been scoring goals. And Chris Wood had an all-time GOAT season. The dude's 33 as well, bit like Salah. That hill has come, and I think Wood's on the other side. Igor Jesus has been brought in probably to take over from Chris the Woody Woodpecker. He's not getting 20 goals again this season. I can tell you the hot tip right now. The XG numbers last year were ridiculously low compared to his output. It's just not going to happen again this year. And for that reason, I can't recommend Chris the Woody Woodpecker anymore. He's going to have to go and chop some wood in the forest back in New Zealand because he's not going to be chopping the wood for the D-Unit's team. Then we got Solanke coming in at number 12, and maybe I've got this one wrong. Maybe he should be much higher on this list. But at the moment, he's number 12. Tottenham's run of fixtures to begin the season are pretty damn good. Owned by 11.1% of managers. 25 starts, though, last season. He's injury prone. He's been injury prone in preseason. Hasn't actually touched a ball in the last 3 or 4 fixtures now for Spurs in the preseason. We will get one more chance to see if he's fit for the PSG game next week. But I have significant doubts about this man. He is not a wisser. He's not a wisser. He's not an Mbumo. I don't know if I'll even like him. I was so glad to kick him off in the live stream last night. Anyone that watched, I actually quite enjoyed getting rid of Dominic Solanke, and yeah, he probably should be higher on this list. Then we've got Isaac. Now, Isaac, I think eventually he's going to end up at Liverpool. I think they're going to sign Wissa. They're going to sign maybe Jackson. Who knows what Newcastle are doing, because they can't seem to sign anyone, which is just painful for them at the moment. 26% ownership, though. He's probably not even playing game week 1 at all. I don't even know if he's going to be fit. He's still not training with the team. Even if he goes to Liverpool, I don't think Isaac is an option in anyone's team until game week 4. Post the first international break of the season, we may then see Isaac involved. But I would just be steering clear. If he is available for game week 4 and he has moved to Liverpool, that is the time to jump on, because he will have Burnley at home. And that is an amazing fixture that potentially you might want Isaac for. But until then, especially if he stays at Newcastle, I would have no interest in him until after that first international break and that transfer window has firmly closed. Then we're starting to get into a little controversial territory. And look, Gyökeres's stats last season were through the roof, but there's no way he should be in 22.9% of teams. Arsenal's fixtures for the first 6 weeks are rubbish. For a bloke that has only played twice now, he came on in a game ago and he started the last game, he barely touched the ball. And I think it's going to take a while for Arsenal to develop an understanding of how he's going to get the goals. Last year, he did score 39 goals in 33 starts, but all bar 3 of them were against teams below like the top 4 or whatever in Portugal. He's a flat track bully. The only teams that are going to be like that this season are probably going to be Burnley, Sunderland, Leeds, and Wolves, maybe. Maybe you could say there's a couple other teams he might be able to beat up on. But he's not going to be producing the numbers he produced in the Portuguese league. I think Man United have dodged a bullet, and I'm definitely dodging a bullet by not putting him in my team to begin the season. Then we've got João Pedro. Now, we saw last night in the Chelsea's pre-season game, started on the bench. Liam Delap started. There's going to be so much of that at Chelsea. Liam Delap's going to start some games. João Pedro's going to start others. They're going to rotate. One's going to play 60, maybe 57 minutes. The other one's going to play 30. And you're just going to hope that in that minutes that they're on the field, they're going to score. For that reason, I think he's an avoid. I think he's a great player, and I think eventually he might become the full-time number 9. But to begin the season, I think Maresca's going to keep chopping and changing. We saw that last year with certain players as well, especially around European fixtures. I mean, Sanchez didn't even start in goal last night. Everyone's got them in him in their teams. Jorgensen started instead. That's all you need to know. Maresca roulette is a thing. João Pedro is going to be involved with it. For that reason, I think he is a pretty easy ignore for me to begin the season with. Then we're back onto a couple of Liverpool players. And look, I think these guys, I think Frimpong in particular, could be an amazing asset. He could literally become Trent. The concern I've got is that they're all starting to find their way into that Liverpool team. That's my problem with them. Virgil van Dijk, everyone says, oh, he's a steady Eddie, whatever he's going to get. He does have really good defensive contribution points. 8.11 is pretty damn good per 90. But I just don't see it. I don't see the allure. Until game week 4, I don't think Liverpool are keeping a clean sheet the first 3 weeks. And that is how the majority of defenders make their points. Clean sheets, not defensive contributions, the old DC points. DC. By the way, why on earth do they call it DEFCON, these other fools? DC sounds so much cooler. Welcome to the DC club where we've got a new Marvel superhero. His name is Jeremy Frimpong. Doesn't actually get the DC points. We're going to kick him out of the DC universe. 24 start. He could be really good. But to begin the season, as I said, the fixtures are just no good. For that reason, they are both an ignore for me. I looked at them, looked at the fixtures and thought, I can't see a clean sheet until Burnley. And Burnley's away. And you never know. Those promoted teams love playing these kind of teams. Liverpool are the hunted this year. I don't think they're going to get anywhere near 14 clean sheets, which is what Virgil van Dijk got last year. I reckon they're going to be closer to 10. I think with all the changes, I would be shocked if they got anywhere near 14 again this year. That's just my personal opinion. Again, to make of it what you want. I'm just providing you with the info on my own insight. Then we've got two more of my absolute favourite defensive players. And we're getting to the juicy end, boys. And I'm telling you, it's going to be worth the wait. Number 6, Konza. Why is he so popular? 23.6%. He played in an Aston Villa team last year that kept 8 clean sheets, and I think 4 of them were in the last 10 games of the season. They were horrible defensively last year to begin the season. Defensive contribution, the DC, he is not a DC hero. 5.39 average per 90. He ain't going to be getting you any of them plus 2s, boys. 0.04, 0.02. Unbelievably good attacking numbers there. Why have people picked Konza in their teams? I do not know. Yes, the fixtures look really good on paper. I think Newcastle score against Villa on the opening day. I think Brentford could definitely do the same. Crystal Palace could definitely do the same. Everton, Sunderland, Fulham, maybe they keep clean sheets there. I understand that. I don't see the allure of Konza. He's a steady Eddie. He's not even going to be getting you plus DC points, so what's the point of him? Then we've got Gabriel. Has not played a minute of preseason. If that guy comes in for game week 1 against Man United, I think Man United are scoring and winning the game quite comfortably. Again, all you have to do is look at those fixtures. Liverpool away in 3, Man City at home in 5, Newcastle away in 6. That's 3 games, no chances of clean sheets. I could be wrong. Maybe they'll keep clean sheets and all. But my guess, my analytical mind tells me he's a horrible pick until at least game week 7. We don't even know if he's going to be fit. You don't want to be worrying about that. And 6 million for someone that is not like that just makes not very much sense to me at all. And look, everyone talks about, how good he is at attacking in the air. He's averaged 3 goals a season for the last 4 years. Milenkovic scored 5 last year. Just think about that before you sit there and blindly follow the sheep into picking Gabriel. Then we're on to the beauty ones here. We're on to the Spurs players, boys, and they are rubbish. Kudus. Last year, 31 starts, 5 goals, 4 assists. What is the allure and the obsession with him? 1 in 4 managers have Kudus in their teams. Again, it probably does come down to the fact that Spurs have a nice run of fixtures, but this is Spurs. They haven't been setting the world alight in pre-season. I think they barely struggled to score goals. They had 4 smacked past them by Bayern. They're probably going to get smacked by PSG. Burnley's probably going to beat them 1-0 on the opening day of the season. And everyone says that and goes, Thomas Frank will turn him into an amazing player. Will he? Brian Mbumo is a quality player, a significantly better player than Kudus is. Let's be honest. You can't be comparing them. He then had a Wissa up front. They've got a Solanke up front. I know who I'd take every day of the week. I'd take Wissa over Solanke all day long. Even the numbers, XG numbers and XA, if you go back and look at Brian Mbumo, Kudus had 0.24, 0.09. He's not even a DC monster. I don't understand why people are going with Kudus. It's the new signing. Yeah, it's just a new signing thing, isn't it? Then we got Pedro Porro. He is a favourite of the FPL review mob. They've literally just brought him into his team since it released. This is the definition of an AI pick. 28 starts last year, 2 goals, 6 assists. He's got the attacking threat, no doubt about that. But 6 clean sheets, 5.5 million. I know where I'd be going, and it's nowhere near this man. If you want a 5.5 million defender, just bring in Daniel Munoz. He will smash Pedro Porro to the ground with the points that he scores this season, unless obviously he gets injured. I just don't have any interest in Spurs players. They struggled to keep clean sheets last year. They kept 6 clean sheets all season last season. No, it was 8, I think. 7 or 8. It was between 6 and 8. Either way, they were rubbish. They conceded so many goals last year. You don't unlearn that over the course of a summer. We saw that with Ten Hag. When Ten Hag left for Amrin, it took him a while to get over it. This is going to be the same. They're so used to playing a certain way. You're not going to break that overnight. And I think it's going to be a long and difficult road for Tottenham fans this year. I really do. And with European football, half their squad can't stay fit. And I just think that particularly defence, complete and utter avoids. Yeah, I just don't like it at all. And on to number 2 and 1, and here we are again. We have Van der Ven, number 2. Can you believe that this man is owned by 18.9%? There are so many better 4.5 million defenders than this man. He is nowhere near a DC monster, 5.86 per 90. He's got pretty decent attacking numbers for a defender, to be fair. 0.05 expected goals per 90, 0.06 expected assists. He started 12 games last season. The dude was forever injured. His left hamstring is about as tight as my back, and my back is very tight. It's only going to take him to run a little bit thing, and he's going to ping it, and he's going to be gone, and you're going to be wasting a transfer. Do not go anywhere near this man. He is very lucky that there is one person I think is more overrated than him, because he would be at number 1 in terms of people that own him and how bad of a pick he is for the amount of people that own him. But that honour can only go to one Ilian Ndiaye, the love of every other FPL content creator out there except myself. This dude, Ndiaye, makes me want to die inside. Honestly, just a little bit. Every time I see him in a draft, a part of me just falls apart. 29 goals. Sorry, 20. If he had 29 goals, he'd be a lock. 29 starts for only 9 goals. Underlying attacking numbers is where you need to look at and realize that this is a dumb pick. 0.23 expected goals per 90, and that is boosted massively by the fact he scored 2 penalties. Everton are not going to be winning 10 penalties. Forget about the fact he's on penalties. It's neither here nor there. He is a dud pick. He takes the number 1 mantle by a absolute country mile. How 13% of people have him in their teams? I actually sit there and go, why? You've got Ismaila Sarr at 6.5 million. Significantly better. Will outscore him by a country mile. You've got Ahmad, who will outscore him by a country mile. You've got Declan Rice, who will outscore him by a million miles. Don't understand the pick. Stop following the sheep, folks out there. Ilian Ndiaye is not the man that you think he's going to be. I bet your Leeds do him game week 1 as well. I just think, I just don't understand it. Everton, why would you be buying up Everton forwards and midfielders? They were rubbish. I can tell you, I owned Dwight McNeil last season, and he got me 1 return in 6 weeks. Other big content creators out there had Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and we all know how well that went last year. So again, I would argue these 2 are the 2, if you own them, if you want my honest advice, go and remove them from your teams as soon as possible. Delete them from your teams. Delete them from your teams like I did to Dominic Solanke last night. You'll have a much better start to the season, I promise. That brings us to the end of the 18 most overhyped owned players in the game that I think, and I can guarantee you not one of them will be making my game week 1 draft. So there you go. Is AI lost the plot? I think AI has lost the plot. It has convinced all the other content creators that these picks are brilliant. The only one I could say that maybe won't start the season that I am concerned about a little bit is Mo Salah, but he's number 18. But I just think that what you can get instead, and I said this on stream last night, you can get a Bruno plus a Palmer, or you can get a Belieber plus a Salah. And you tell me which combination of those 2 is outperforming the other one. Without further ado, I'll be back very shortly. I hope you've enjoyed that video. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Before you go, smash a like. And if you haven't already, smash that sub button. I'll see you again soon. I've been FPL D-Unit.